Hi Jumpstart friends, my name is Alyssa, and today we're going to read a story called The Twins' Blanket, and it is written and illustrated by Hyewon Yum. So in this story, we see identical twins. So now identical means that they are exactly the same, and twins means that they are babies that were born at the same time to the same mother. So here we see the identical twins laying in bed together and sharing a blanket. Now to share means to have or use something with others. So here we could see that they're using the blanket together. Now in this story, the twin sisters that are sharing the blanket get too big and they outgrow the blanket and can't share it together anymore. So let's see what happens in the story. The twins' blanket. We're look-alike twins. That means we look like each other. That means we share everything. So like we said, that these are identical twins, so that they were born at the same time, they are the same age, and they share a lot of things together. We share toys, clothes, and a room. Once we even shared Mommy's belly. Now let's look closely. So because the twins are the same age and they are part of the same family, they share a lot of things, right? Like they share their toys, their clothes, and they even share a room. Brothers and sisters also tend to have to share a lot of the same things, right? Let's see what's next. And we've shared the same blanket ever since we were born. That's what Mommy says. So this picture shows us when the twins were born, and here they're sharing the same blanket. You see with the stripes? So why do you think that they shared the same bed and the same blanket? Let's take a look. This is because twins, since they are born at the same time, they are usually the same size too. And when babies are little, they don't take up much space. So here, this big blanket covers both of the tiny babies, right? And here we could see how small the babies were. Let's take a look back here. There's a photo of the mom holding both of them at the same time. But we are big girls now. I'm already 5. I'm 5 too. We're twin sisters. Remember, silly? The blanket has gotten too small for both of us. Uh-oh. So now the twin sisters aren't babies anymore. They're 5 years old. So they're getting too big for the blanket. Look, their arms, and their legs are coming off. The blanket can't cover the both of them anymore like when they were babies, right? I think I should have this blanket because I'm the big sister and I can't sleep without it. No, I think I should have it because, well, I can't sleep without it either. And you're only 3 minutes older than me. Let's take a close look. What's going on in this picture? So they both seem pretty angry with each other, right? And they're both pulling on the blanket. One sister is saying that I think I should have the blanket, and the other sister is saying no, I think I should have it. I hope they figure it out and they don't rip the blanket. Look, they're pulling on it. Let's see what happens next. I'm mad at my little sister. Mad at me, I'm mad too. You're so greedy. So what does the sister say to the other? She tells her sister that she's being greedy. So now greedy means wanting more of something. And the sister wants the blanket all to herself. So the other sister thinks she's greedy for not sharing. And look, they're very mad at each other. Sometimes when brothers and sisters have to share, it doesn't always feel fair. And I think they feel it's not fair, right? Mommy says we should have separate beds now, twin beds, since we're big twin girls. And she's going to make a new blanket for each of us. So the mom thinks that the twins should have separate twin beds. So here, separate means not joined together or connected. So here, we can see two beds that are exactly the same. Separate twin beds. And it's because they're 5 years old now and they're getting too big to share everything. And now, what's going to happen with the blanket? The mom said that she's going to make them a new blanket. I wonder what it's going to look like. We're buying new fabric for our blankets. I pick yellow with flowers on it. Yellow is my favorite color. I pick pink with birds and flowers. Pink is my favorite color. Wow, take a close look at their fabric. Doesn't it look so nice? So the girls chose their own fabric with different colors and different patterns. How do you think they're feeling about it? Let's take a look at their faces. I see smiles on their faces now, right? They got to pick their own fabric and they chose their own colors, and they're probably so excited to be able to have their new blankets. They must feel happy that they don't have to share anymore. Now, do you see the fabric? Fabric is a kind of material. It's that very soft material that all of your blankets are made out of. Let's see how the blankets turn out. Before she starts to sew, Mommy lets us wash the fabric in the backyard. The water tickles us. We laugh and laugh. It's so much fun. Wow, look at them. So that's really funny. They're washing their new fabric by stepping on it in the water. And it says before Mommy starts to sew it. Now to sew means to make something using a needle and a thread. So she's gonna make the blankets all by herself with a needle and a thread. I bet the fabric is going to feel nice and smooth, right? Because they're washing it. Then we dry the fabric in the sun. I think yellow is an excellent color for the blanket, don't you? No, pink is a much better color for everything. Look, they're hanging it up and look at their feet. So now they're waiting for the fabric to dry. First they washed it and now it's hanging up outside to dry. They must be getting so excited for their new blankets. It takes a while and a lot of sewing to make 2 blankets. I want Mommy to finish mine first. No, mine first. You always get to be first, and that's not fair. So here we can see that the twins are still not really getting along, right? They're arguing. But that happens sometimes. I'm sure if you have a brother or sister, sometimes you argue too, right? Now, let's take a close look. What do you notice on the page? I see the striped fabric from the old blanket. I wonder what the mom is going to do with it. Finally, they're finished. Mine is so beautiful. Now I have my own blanket, like a big girl. I can't wait to sleep with it. Mine is even more beautiful than yours, and it smells like sunshine. So let's take a look at their new blankets. What do they look like? The mom sewed a piece of the old blanket onto their new blankets. And look how happy and pleased they look. Look at their faces. They look very happy to be stretched out on their new big blankets. We go to bed early in our twin beds, but I can't sleep. Me neither. My eyes are wide open in the dark. Oh no, what's happening? So now it seems that the girls are scared about sleeping in their separate beds and their separate blankets. They were so excited about the new blankets, remember? But now that they seem uncertain. Now, uncertain means that they're not sure about something. So they're not sure about sleeping in separate beds. And sometimes that happens when you're doing something for the first time. You may be uncertain or scared. I stretch my arm out. There's my little sister's hand. I hold my sister's hand tight. I think she's scared. I was scared, but I feel better now. Then we fall asleep in our own beds with our own blankets for the very first time. Look, they're sleeping. Their eyes are closed. So how did they make each other feel better? Let's take one little step back. How did they make each other feel better? They reached out for each other's hands and they held hands for a little while, and then they started to feel better. They reassured each other that they were still there even though they were in separate beds, and it helped them to fall asleep. So now we know that just because twins argue, they still knew to take care of each other in the end, just like you with your brother and your sister. Here they are, they're sleeping. The end. That was such a nice story, and we learned so many new words, and we learned about how the twin sisters got too big for their blanket, and we figured out what happened with the blanket, right? Their mommy sewed them new ones. And even though in the end they got a little scared to sleep in separate beds with separate blankets, they held each other's hands until they felt better. And then they went to sleep. Well, I really liked this story, and I hope that you liked it too. I can't wait to read a new story with you. Bye!